Hey, Booze. Hey, it is your girl, the Rising Phoenix Empath, coming at you from Maryland. And I wanted to jump on real quick. And today, we're going to talk about 10 indications, right? While you are in the getting to know somebody phases, 10 indications that alert you to the fact that you need to immediately cut this person off and stop talking to them before you get into a relationship with them, because the goal of this video is to stop you in your tracks prior to engaging in relationship with a would-be predator or narcissist, okay, or somebody with those predatory narcissistic like tendencies, right? So I'm going to give you 10 indicators to run and cut off communications before it gets any further, okay? Rushed love, okay? Rushed love is within the first 1 to 4 weeks, they are telling you that they love you. I need you to run. Some of us have been in this world 30, 40, some of us 50 years, right? And I'm not 50. I'm just giving examples. But some of us have been on the earth 30, 40, 50 years, right? And so you meet a person, talk to them for a whole week, and you're in love. This means that you've been on this world for all of these years. You don't know this person. They don't know you. You don't know the nature of this person. You don't know what they've done in their lifetimes. You don't know what they have experienced. And you just don't know the nature of this person. And somebody who would come in and meet you and try to rush the relationship to immediately and instant love at first sight, right? And I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm just saying there are predators out there with motives to ensnare you for whether it be sex, whether it be for financial gain, whether it be for a place to lay their head, whether it be they saw a picture of you and your younger daughter online and they want your daughter. It's people do stuff like this, right? So you have to know that when somebody is rushing through the getting to know you phases and has fallen madly and deeply in love with you within the first month, they're predators. They're predators. And they want to come in for something fast. And guess what? Once they get it, they'll leave fast, right? So cut them off, okay? Number 2, extreme flattery. Okay, also known as love bombing. It's a real thing where men and women come into these relationships and they idealize you into being the best person they've ever met. They idealize you into being the best person they've ever met, and you have all of these qualities, and you do. I'm not saying that you don't. You do, right? But it is extreme, the love bombing. It is extreme to the point that it's disingenuous. I mean, and it feels good for somebody to seemingly adore you and to love your qualities. And I think everybody wants to be adored and loved. But this particular mode of operation, flattery, is to manipulate you and also to ensnare you, and it is in the predators and narcissists primary arsenal of tactics used to ensnare the innocent. Somebody that constantly flatters you, right? It's not a compliment, it's flattery, meaning it's really it's disingenuous. Somebody that will come in with extreme flattery is a predator. and has narcissistic traits. People just don't do that. Like, yeah, you're pretty. Yes, you're accomplished. Yes, you're a good catch. I'm not saying that you're none of these things, but the level of flattery will supersede those examples, and it will be consistent all over your social media pages with how beautiful you are and how they love you, need you, want you, desire you, you and only you. It is a form of manipulation. Cut them off. It's disingenuous. Number 3, anybody who has been in prison for an extended amount of time. And this is not a diss to the men that have been locked down, because some men go in, right, and they get their stuff together, right, and they come out better men. Okay, I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm just saying, if you meet somebody while they're in prison, right, you meet somebody while they're in prison and the prison sentence is extended, meaning they've spent 10, 20, 30 years in prison, I want to let you know that they are products of their environment, right? The nature is different from these breed of men and women. The nature is different. Their breeding ground, right? They were raised in this system, right? And we like to believe that prison, is this place where men go to become better men. But in the process of that, so much trauma is taking place. Trauma that's not being reported. Sexual trauma. Physical trauma. Emotional trauma, because families are leaving them. People are leaving them, and nobody really stays through it. And it's not that people can't stay through it, but, these people, for safety nets, need several other people. And so who's going to stay through that? Who's going to stay with somebody that can't physically comfort them, can't really provide for them, and is a serial cheater? Who's staying through that? Who would want to hold somebody down through that? These men oftentimes, not all, so please, don't be in my comments getting mad at me because I'm saying this, but most of the men that have been in prison or incarcerated for an extended period of time are products of their environment and have been programmed to operate in a narcissistic way. They are in a mode of survival. They're in survival mode. And even if they do fall in love with you, I need you to understand that survival will always be the number one goal. And so their need to survive and be in control will always supersede their feelings. And these people are so dangerous because they've been in prison for so long. People have come and gone so much that it is normal to facilitate love relationships with people and be in these relationships for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and they have the uncanny ability to disconnect when they feel that they are emotionally unsafe. And emotionally unsafe meaning they feel that you'll hurt them, so they'll go ahead and disconnect and be in love with somebody else the next day. So, to alleviate all of that, if you meet somebody in prison and you find out he tells you, I'm in prison, cut it off. Cut it off. Right? And I'm not talking to wives or to people who knew these men prior to going in. I'm talking about the people who are meeting these people on dating websites, because these people are on websites. They're on social media like you and like me, with pages like they're in the free world. I'm telling you, and I've experienced this, so I can tell you this. Run. These people are predators. These people have been raised by a system, and they have a different moral integrity and nature than you. you're not even the same species of human. Okay. Number 4, they ask you for money. A man that truly had true interests in a woman would never ask her for money. Period. I don't care what's going on. A man finds a way, especially early in the relationship. I'm not talking about once you guys have come together and have been together for a while and your relationship has been tried, tested, and found to be true. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about during the get to know you phases of a relationship. Okay? If a man asks you for money, run. He has no shame. All right? And he doesn't care what you think about him. Right? So men provide. Men figure it out. Right? But with a real man, who had genuine interest in a woman would never do is ask for money. I don't care what the circumstance is. Okay. Number 5, he got a business. He's a business owner, entrepreneur, but he doesn't have a website. There are no social media pages. He don't have a logo. And he's not making money off of this business, but all he does is talk about this business that's yielding no fruit. And he's done nothing to get this business off the ground. And the business sounds good, right? It sounds like potential. But if you are 30 plus years old, you don't date for potential. You have to see in the physical realm, you have to see the gains and accomplishments of a person. You have to see the fruit of their character and integrity. You cannot make decisions off of what it could be. You need to make decisions off of what it is. And if this person has a business that they've been bragging about to you and they don't make any money off of this business, they don't have a website, they don't have a logo, they don't have any social media pages, and they put absolutely no effort toward launching this business into true existence, run. Run. Because what you'll end up doing is you'll end up funding the launch, right? Run. Okay? He's a clown. Number 6. Lies about stuff that really they shouldn't be lying about. The stuff is so irrelevant that they lie about. And yet here they are lying about stuff it just doesn't even matter. And you know that they're lying because it's so frivolous. Right? Have you ever been talking to somebody and they were lying to you and you just looking like you just listening? But you know they lying. Right? Because it's ridiculous. Right? Run. People who pathologically lie for no reason have some type of mental disorder. Whether it's narcissism, whether it's a psychopath, whether it's a sociopath, I don't know. But it's not a normal behavior for people to just make up lies for no reason at all. For no reason. You're just lying about who you are, making up whole stories, childhood stories that never took place. Trying to pretend to be somebody that you're not. Or lying about something that just doesn't matter. Run. These people are disordered in some kind of way. Run. If they're lying about the very little and frivolous things, imagine the big lies. Imagine the things they'd lie about if they would lie about something so minute. Run. Number 7. How do they talk about their exes? Now we get to a point in every new relationship where we share, right? And we talk about what we've experienced with our exes, right? In my life, I only have two stories to tell. I have two exes. One that I started dating when I was 17, married him, stayed with him all through my 20s and all through my late teens and 20s. And we divorced, when I was 30. I have two children by this man. He's my ex-husband. And then I have another relationship, because I never really seriously dated or been involved in anybody else up until my last relationship. Well, if you meet somebody and he has a long list of exes and a story for everyone and how they did him wrong, run. Everybody has done something. Now, there's no way that somebody could have a long list of people. I'm talking you going through 2, 3, 4 people in a year. And something wrong with for years. 2, 3, 4 people a year for years. The numbers add up. The numbers add up. And something's wrong with every single one of those people. In that relationship, they were always the victim. Somebody always broke their heart. Run. Because while some of those stories may be true, there's always two sides to a coin. There's always two sides to a coin. There's always another side to a story. Find out what it is before you judge and before you interject yourself into something that you have nothing to do with. Okay? Number 7. I'm sorry. Number 8. Violates boundaries. If you have told this person that it bothers you when you talk about a certain thing, or when they do a certain thing, and they continually disrespect how you feel and try to breach those boundaries to get you comfortable with something that you're uncomfortable with, I need you to run. They're testing the waters and they're seeing how far you can be pushed past your boundaries, and before you know it, you'll be doing things you'll be okay with things that deep down does not sit well and align with who you are as a person, right? And this creates a soul tie when you allow people to cross those kind of boundaries and you betray yourself for this person. It creates a soul tie, because in allowing them to cross the boundary and allowing those boundaries to be crossed, you're betraying yourself and you're investing in this relationship, and investment yields a soul tie. Any kind of investment will yield a soul tie. Okay? Number 9, always the victim. Okay? This is in a different way. This is in life. Not even just in relationships, but in life. Everything bad that has happened to this person in their life. And people have tragic stories, all right? Especially, in communities, in urban communities. Let's just be honest. In black communities, in communities with people of color, right? People have sad stories, but hey, we overcome. Okay? We don't allow, certain things in certain environments to define who we become, right? But you have some people who want to blame everybody for where they are in their life today. And while let's not pretend that there's certain things, right, in life that are unfair. right? I'm not saying that they're not, but if you just allow life to happen, especially as a man, you know, you don't have very good life skills. And you don't hold yourself accountable. It's always somebody's fault. It's never, you can never look in the mirror and be honest with yourself and say what you've done to contribute to this situation. Even if it's a negative mindset. You can never, they can never hold themselves accountable. Run. Number 10, no life experience. Back. Okay. No life experience. If they're in prison, they don't have life experience. They can't come out of prison. Being in prison for 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. They cannot come out of prison and be a man to you, a provider to you. Because they have to come out and they have to get acclimated to the free world. No life experience means maybe they've never been to prison. Maybe they just never moved out of their mother's house, right? They don't have any life experience outside of their mommy's house. Or if they did move out of their mommy's house, they've always lived with somebody else. They don't have any life experience outside of the women they sponged off. They can't lead you. They can't contribute in any way. Financially, they can't contribute insight because they have no life experience. These are man boys. Okay, these are man boys who have men bodies, and and most of them are cute and attractive, and that's what reels us in. But these guys are fuck boys. Again, this is not going to be a channel where I do a bunch of cursing, but that's what it is. These people have no life experience, and the only experience they have is manipulating and using other people to get to their next level. Run. There are so many red flags that men and women ignore in the beginning because we are wired to want to love, right? We're wired to want to like. And then when we meet people and we have an attraction, we want to like them. We want it to work. But if we take off our rose-colored glasses and if we go into every situation not attached to the outcome, going in looking at things for what they are, the reality of a situation, we'd be so much better off. And we wouldn't even entertain some of the relationships that have really held us up emotionally and that have really taken a toll on us physically and have really broken us, right? To the point of being unable to be whole for a deserving person, right? So don't ignore the red flags. Walk away. Some of us up in our 30s and 40s, we're just simply too old to ignore. We have to make better decisions, and we also have to hold ourselves accountable to having a standard, having boundaries, and sticking to them, right? Until next time. Because we aren't victims. We aren't reactive. We are proactive, and we're vetting them. The first year of a relationship, you are getting to know a person. You shouldn't be married within and engage within the first year. You're getting to really know a person, and then getting to know them, you're meeting their families and you're learning their history, which is the real true eye-opener. If you haven't even been around his family, if you haven't even been exposed to the history, that's another red flag. Time is out for being uninformed and making decisions based off of emotions, because like love, like feelings, emotions change. People fall in and out of love, and what you have to really choose a mate When you're choosing a mate, you should really look at their history and their integrity level and the nature of human being that they are and have always been, how they've shown up for people, whether they love them, whether they don't, what strangers, how they show up to society. What do they add? Or are they deficit? Let's go in to every friendship, every relationship with our being intentional and deciding that we won't ignore red flags. Getting them out, vetting them, identifying predators and identifying people with narcissistic traits and getting them out of your life early saves you a bunch of heartache and pain and money and time that you'll never get back. Let's be wise. Until next time, chosen ones. Have a good day on purpose.